Hey, how you doing? This is Lee over at Eel Chief Sports. Thank you very much for tuning in again. Last week we ended up going 9-7 against the spread. Should have been 10-6 if Carson Wentz didn't screw that up at the end. But hey, we have another week upon us. Let's see how we can do. This Thursday night for Week 6, everybody, and this is all for entertainment purposes only. Obviously, if you choose to wager on it, I hope you make some money. As all my viewers, I always wish the best. We have the Commanders on the road, 1-4. Commanders won week 1. They will drop their last 4 straight. They're at the Bears, 2-3. These Thursday night games are getting atrocious to watch. Last week we had the Denver game and the Colts. This isn't much better. It can't be any worse. I don't like the game. I'm gonna pick it. Give me the Commanders -1 to win this game. Alrighty. Next game, we have the 3-2 49ers. This is back-to-back road games for the Niners. They're at Atlanta Falcons. They're 2-3. The Falcons, I believe, are 5-5 against the spread this year. They have not lost on the spread at all. 5 for 5 this year. They're at home this week. They score points, and you get 5.5 points. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna take the home team, and I'm gonna take the 5.5 points. Yes, the Niners are the better team, but the Niners are on a. They beat up on the Panthers last week, which isn't saying much. They are the worst team in the league. The week before that, they had a tight game against the Rams. The Rams, they're having their own issues. We'll talk about them in a little bit. So give me the Falcons plus the 5.5. That is the current line, and all my lines I currently using is with DraftKings Sportsbook. So give me the Falcons plus the 5.5. I'm taking the points at home. And then I ended up working up for us last week too. Okay. Moving on, we have the Patriots 2-3 at the Browns 2-3. Same record. Seem to be going in different directions a little bit. The Patriots the week before they had a heartbreaking loss in overtime at Green Bay. And then they rebounded nicely against the other AFC North team, the Lions, last week. And we had the Pats last week, which was nice. But the Browns, they lost by 2 points to the Chargers last Sunday. They're a gritty team. They're usually in every game. This is an interesting line, 2.5. I would take the Patriots, and I'm going to buy a 0.5 point on this one. This can be a 3-point game easily. So give me the Patriots plus the 3 points, and we're buying a half on that one. That's going to be my play for Patriots at the Browns. Okay, moving on. We got the Jets. The Jets, I think this line just moved. It was 7 points. Now it's 7.5. We're going to go Jets 7.5. The Jets are now 3-2. The Packers are 3-2. The Packers really let everybody down last week, including myself. They're one of my main plays. I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to show up in London. He did the first half. They can't seem to get anything going the second half. It's just a week after thing. So, why would I take the Packers? Lay the points. They just played in London last week. They're going to be fatigued. Give me the Jets. The Jets are they're coming off a nice win against Miami. Yes, Miami's having their own issues, but their defense still allowed 40 points against the Jets. Give me the Jets plus 7.5. This was a 7-point spread up until a little bit ago, and it just ticked up a 0.5 point. I'm going to take the points. I do not trust Aaron Rodgers. I do not trust the Packers. I'm not laying 7.5 points against the Panthers if it was the Packers. That's how much I don't trust them. So that's what we're going to do for that game. Jets plus 7.5. Moving on, we have the Jaguars 2-3 at Colts. The Colts are 2-2, and they tied the first week against Houston, I believe. The Jaguars are coming off a really bad showing at home. They scored 6 points at home against the Texans, and they were a touchdown favorite that day. The Colts haven't played since the Thursday night football game that start week 5, And that game was like watching paint dry against the Broncos. Give me the Colts. The current line is 1.5. This is an ugly game. I don't want to touch it, but I'm going to play everything. Pick everything, rather. -1.5. Colts, they're at home. They need to figure out a way to beat the Jaguars. If they want to be relevant, they got Matt Ryan over. They do not look good. The Jaguars are Jekyll and Hyde. They look good one week. The next week, they don't show up. I'm going to take the Colts at home, -1.5. Alrighty. 4-1 Vikings versus the Dolphins, 3-2. Game is in Miami. Miami is having all sorts of trouble. They were 3-0. They're one of the best teams in the AFC. They've lost their last 2 games, partly because Tua has been out. Now Teddy Bridgewater is out. Now we're on a third-string quarterback at home. We're getting points. The Vikings are not as good on the road. They're playing an AFC team. Going to be Florida weather. These things do matter. Give me the points. I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins +3.5. Okay, and if you're just joining, thank you very much for tuning in. You can also follow me on Twitter at Eel Chief, and if you perhaps I'm interested in hopping on your podcast, if you're a fellow sports guy like myself, you can email me directly at eelchief@gmail.com. Okay, so that's how you can reach me there. My name is Lee. I am the host of this wonderful show. Thank you very much. Moving on, 2-3 Bengals. Bengals are coming off a close loss against the Ravens division game this past Monday night. Tucker, that's what happens when you get the best kicker. He let that roll in there, didn't he? At the Saints. Saints are 2-3. The same record. I think the Bengals are the better team of the two. I do like Joe Burrow off a loss. I know the Bengals started off a little slow, then they won the 2 games. I had the Ravens last week. They didn't cover, but they did win. Give me the Bengals -2 to win this game. I think the Bengals even out at 3-3. I do not trust the Saints. They allow too many points, and I think for as good of a defense as the Saints supposedly have, the Seahawks last week were running up and down the field. So give me the Bengals plus the 2 points. And a nice bounce back game for Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Okay. Moving on, we have the Ravens, the team that beat the Bengals last week. Ravens 3-2, coming off the Monday night victory at the Giants. Giants were in London last week. Now, what I did last week is I faded the London team just because I believe in fatigue, and typically the teams from London, in the old days, if the team played in London, then they would have their bye week the following week, but they're not doing that anymore. So they play London a week. Week after, they automatically have to play their home or away game here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fade the Giants. They had a wonderful, awesome, showing in London. They're 4-1. They beat Aaron Rodgers, which isn't really saying much nowadays. I don't think he has the team this year. Give me the Ravens. I typically like to take the point in this situation. I'm not. I'm going to lay the points. It's -5 for Lamar Action Jackson. Give me the Ravens -5 to beat the 4-1 Giants. Moving on, we have the 3-2 Buccaneers at the Steelers, 1-4. Steelers are they're not scoring a whole lot of points. They looked I took the points last week just because I can't give 14 points against any team. But, the Buffalo Bills, they do what they're supposed to do. Now we're getting 8 points at home against the Buccaneers. Mike Tomlin, I have respect for the coach. He got embarrassed last week. He's back at home. Kenny Pickett, it's too early to tell with him. Give me Pittsburgh Steelers plus the 8 points because they're at home and I'm getting 8 points, and maybe Tom Brady will win by... The Buccaneers are going to win this game. The question is by how much. So give me the Steelers plus the 8 points. Moving on. Best play of the week. It's right here. We have the 1-4 Panthers at the 2-3 Rams. The Rams, very disappointing loss against the Cowboys. They were 5.5-point favorites. I had them. They did not show up. And then the Panthers, another team, they were almost a touchdown underdogs last week against the Niners. They can't seem to get anything going. Now Baker Mayfield's out there. I believe Sam Darnold's going to be in this game. The Rams have to put it together. I think the Rams, they just have the Super Bowl hangover. They are not scoring enough points. They're not defending enough points. In this particular game, they're at home. They need a bounce back game. I think they beat up on the Panthers. They finally put it together. They need some type of rebound game. I think it happens here. This line is pretty high. It's 10 points right now for the Rams. I'm going to lay the points. I think they're going to win this game by 17 or beyond. They need some type of ass-kicking game, and this might be it to get things going. They even out to 3-3. Give me the Rams and lay the points on this one. I don't think the Panthers have a chance to do anything. They shouldn't even get on the plane. That's the way I feel about that game. So the Rams are going to be my best play for this week, okay, for week 6. My second best play was a team that was my best play last week. They're my second best play this week. 2-3 Arizona Cardinals are at the Seahawks. 2-3. They both have identical records. The Cardinals do play better on the road. They haven't won a home game in a very long time, but luckily this is not at home. This game is in Seattle. So give me Kyler Murray. Give me the Cardinals. And I have to give 2.5 points. So I'm gonna lay the points on the road. The Cardinals are my second best play of the week. So give me the Cardinals minus 2.5. Okay, we got 3 more games left. Let's knock these out. 4-1 Bills at the Chiefs. 4-1. I am a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. For those that don't know me, they're my favorite team for a very, very long time. And this is the very first time that Patrick Mahomes is a underdog at home in a regular season game. It's never happened before. It finally happened here. My heart says the Chiefs. My head says the Bills. So give me the Bills minus the 2.5, which I wouldn't be surprised if this line went to 3. So 2.5 Buffalo Bills. This is a big redemption game, revenge game from the postseason last year. So Buffalo Bills minus 2.5. Sorry, Chiefs, that against the Raiders, they just squeaked by. I didn't like that showing at all, and even though they're at home again, but Buffalo's going to bring it. I already know they're going to bring it. They've had the Bills Chiefs game circled on their calendar for a very, very long time. So we're going to see it. I'm hoping it's a fun game, but I'm not expecting to win that as a Chiefs fan. Okay, we got the Sunday night game on NBC. The Dallas Cowboys 4-1. They have a 4-game winning streak with their now backup starter Cooper Rush, and they're at the undefeated Eagles 5-0. This should be a very good game. Typically, I like to take the points here. The Eagles currently are minus 6 points. That is the spread. I'm going to lay the 6 points. The Eagles are in prime time Sunday night, and they're just on a roll. Whenever I go against the Eagles, they just tend to bite me in the butt. So give me the Eagles minus the 6 points to cover and win on Sunday Night Football. Okay. Plus, the Cowboys are due for a loss, but I said that last. I did say that the week before against the Rams, but Eagles are a little bit better, a lot of bit better. They're definitely the best team in the NFC. I hope it stays because it's a lot of fun to watch Jalen Hurts. All right, and probably, this Monday night game on ESPN, the Denver Broncos. I really don't want to watch any games the Broncos have to deal with or participate in. I got the Broncos AFC West matchup 2-3 at the Chargers 3-2. This is a weird game. It's a very weird line. The Chargers have been disappointing this year, even though they have a winning record. But the Chargers are squeaking by teams. You don't know how hurt Justin Herbert really is. They're on backup players. They just squeaked by the Browns in a very gritty game last week. but the Browns did cover by a half a point because we had Cleveland plus 2.5. So that was nice that they only lost by 2. It's funny how these games just come within milliseconds, right? Uh, I really don't even want to play this game, but if I'm going to, give me the Broncos plus the 5 points. Russell Wilson cannot be this bad. Then a rumor has it that he's injured, but he wasn't on an injury report before that. Um, so, plus they played the Thursday night. They played the Thursday night before last, so they would have like 10, 11 days off before this game. Give me Denver plus the 5. It's just too much time to prepare for the Chargers, and they have to, if they lose by a field goal, then we win. So that is our picks for week 6. So please do subscribe to our channel. Click the like button. As you can see, this is a fairly new channel, so I'm putting a lot of time and effort into it. So I would appreciate that. Thank you very much for listening, and happy betting. Thank you very much.